Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. It's your boy BlueWestlo here with the two coolest podcasters, perhaps in the history of podcasters.
Take that, Joe Rogan.
According to BlueWestlo, Robbie V and Mr. Fruits. Today we have a nice big story time for you guys. Rob talks about his little bachelor party that also maybe turned dangerous, Monka-esque.
Nearly died.
Or not dangerous enough.
Not dangerous enough? Skill issue? We talk a lot about Final Shape, how we're feeling about it. A little bit about the Destiny stream that talked about the future. Talk about some more gaming stuff. Some the Xbox showcase, which was pretty meaty. And then we get into some nice toasty Q&A. We get into quite a few questions this week. So you guys want to watch all of that and more, stick around.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around those big different stressors, big or small. It might be a life thing, a relationship thing, or all of the above. When we keep those bottled up, it can start affecting us really negatively. Therapy is a safe place to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. BetterHelp was nothing but professional during my time with them. They told me and helped me work through all of my stressors and what really was weighing me down to the point now where my mentality has totally changed and those stressors and worries don't weigh me down anymore. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 232. I'm glad to be joined by you all today, including my co-hosts, one, Robbie V.
Hi.
Bye, Desu. One, BlueWestlo.
I haven't slept.
Oh. Well, GM. Or, I mean, I guess you're going to go to bed soon, though. That's a good, exciting thing to look forward to, though.
I'm so excited.
Especially like after a hard day's work.
I'm so excited.
Is it a good thing you haven't slept? Have you just been grinding?
No, it's bad. I was literally like, I'm going to go to sleep really early. I'm going to go to sleep at 3 a.m. It's foolishly because I woke
really
up
early.
I woke up really late. I woke up really late the day before. I woke up at like 4 or 5. And so I was like, I'm going to go to sleep really early at 3 a.m. Lo and behold, I accidentally took a nap at like 10. I didn't mean to. So anyways, I woke up at midnight. Anyway, and now it's 9 a.m. because I couldn't fall asleep.
You say nap, but if it's 10 o'clock, most people just say, you could go on to bed.
Okay, but it doesn't work.
That's for the bed.
It doesn't work like that when you woke up at like 4 p.m.
I guess.
I guess that's true. Which is wild. I went to bed at like 9:15 last night. Got a good like 8 hours.
Yeah, I went to bed like at 1. I was playing a lot of Counter-Strike last night. I gotta say,
I don't know how you guys do that.
I got a Destiny 2 buff right now in Counter-Strike. It's a real thing. That's why Benny's, I think, is so good at Counter-Strike because he plays a lot of Destiny. I've been shooting down these like terrorists like they're falling. I'm not joking. Like I've been.
You should tell Simple that. Simple, I got a little trick for you. If you think you're good, just wait. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, maybe pull out the Destiny.
Yeah, instead of doing aim trainers and practicing your aim, just play D2.
Put down the Kovacs. Hear me out.
I'm telling you, I have not played any better Counter-Strike than at this very moment. I don't know if it's because I'm used to aiming at the head of a fallen, so I just do that in this game now too. I don't know.
Just picture they're all dregs.
Let me for an example, if you pulled up my OP.GG, me feeling it is going like 13 and 16. Okay, like I'm not going like 5.
But you're also
anymore.
You're in lobbies with Benny and them. I mean, you're punching above, right?
Yeah. I had some sweet, but that stat line doesn't show the clutch that I had, a 3v1 clutch that I had. That keep around like 5-0.
Right.
It doesn't show.
Keeps your team in it. It doesn't show the mental weight you carry, the team morale. I mean, I'm sure you're the glue that holds it all together. Scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story, so I get it. I'm glad to hear that you've been fragging, both in and out of Destiny. So, maybe you warm up with that from now on.
2 weeks ago, I missed the podcast for a bachelor party. And I felt like I should explain how that bachelor party went. I wasn't able to last week because Destiny was hot. It's still hot. Don't get me wrong. Destiny is still hot. We'll be talking about it here in a second. So I went to a bachelor party. Now, I'm at the age where my friends are all getting married. I literally have a bachelor party to go to almost every other weekend, it feels like. But what's nice about this one is they came to me. They wanted that. So, like, these are all like my college friends that I went to college with.
They wanted to relive the heyday, huh?
And they wanted to like relive it up. So we got like this really nice Airbnb. It's like, God, I can't believe these houses like are in the same place where I live. Like, it's pretty insane. But it was so nice. Like, everyone was like, I'm leaving at 2:00 today. I'll be there around 4:30. I was like, yeah, I'm leaving at like 4:25. I'll be there at 4:30. Like, little 5-minute drive. It was great. So we get this beautiful Airbnb, and I'm there with like bro, not like bros, not like they bro down, but like corporate bro America, like bros. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
But like they're my guys. You know what I mean?
You ever seen
like,
Suits?
No, like I would never watch that, but yes, I'm sure. Like
figuring something like that, you know.
I'm sure Chad falls right under that category of Suits. Not actually though, and he'd probably like, I do. So I did learn the most fun drinking game this weekend that I'm gonna try and incorporate anywhere I go. And for those bros who listen to the podcast, you guys can maybe think about or like if you guys have played it, it's called Beer Die. Have you guys ever played Beer Die?
Never even heard of it.
This is where you die when you drink beer.
Oh my god, close. So basically, you have a table, okay? And each corner of the table, you have it hot dog style, not hamburger style. So a long table.
Okay.
So
isn't that just depending on where you're standing?
I guess, but no, you need a what I'm saying is you need a table that's not an L7. You need one that's like a rectangle, like
okay.
I got you. L7.
Okay, yeah.
So you put your drinks on the corners of the tables like this. So like corners, and then they have theirs. And then you have like a dice. Can be any dice. Should have brought my D&D dice. That would have been cool. But basically what you do is you have to yell die, and then you have to throw the die up in the air, and it has to be higher than the table is long. So like imagine if you put like the table in the middle of the thing.
Did you have like a marker up there? Or just eyeballing?
It's kind of just like,
okay.
A gentleman's agreement. Yeah. Like, so you toss it up. It hits it has to hit the side of the table. And if it bounces, you have to let it bounce off the table. And if you don't catch it one-handed, that's 1 point for the other team.
You die.
If it hits the side of the table, hits the cup, and bounces on the ground and they don't catch it, that's 2 points. And if it goes straight in, like you throw it up and it goes in, 3 points.
Oh, we're talking just like the little Dixie cups or something.
Yeah, just like your red Solo cup.
I was thinking for some reason you had the beer can. That makes more sense.
No, like you think like it goes.
Well, yeah, you just held that up, so I was like, "Oh, a can," and I'm like, "Wow, that's
no." I was like,
only 3 points for that. Oh my god!
Imagine. And just to let you guys know, I fucking run that game. All right, I didn't get off the table all fucking weekend. I think by the time me and my partner Drew, you're familiar with Drew. I think at the end, we went 16-1. I think we only lost one game. We did have an injury though.
Oh no.
Yeah. And everyone thought it was me because I was like, so I have to pull up the picture because it is so ridiculous. Okay. So like this whole week, everyone was like, we're playing spike ball. We're doing this, and then we're going out to the bars. We're like, okay. So I was like, okay, a lot of physical activity this weekend. Somebody is tearing something this weekend. Like somebody is getting hurt. And
they really wanted to relive college. They still think.
Yeah, they're like, no, like it'll be fine. So we're playing Beer Die, having a great time. And we're in a battle. We're in a battle right now. We're about to go like lose our second game, right? We're down 10. We're down like, I think you go to 11 is the winning game. We're down 10-6, right? Drew and I go up. He throws, boom, boom, 2 points. Hits the table, hits the cup, 2 points. Only down 2 now. I say, watch this shit. Boom, throw it up. Table, cup, boom. 10-10, we're tied. All of a sudden, everyone's invested. Like, oh shit, this is crazy. My next throw, I throw. Gibbs goes for like a catch, but kind of like slips, like his foot kind of slips out from underneath him.
Oh,
And
no.
I just hear, oh, oh God. And like, so we're broing down. We got drinks in us, we're feeling good. So, it's the get up, you bitch. Like, come on. Like, it's a game. Like, and then I'm the one like that's like saying, hey, Rule 22, paragraph 7, stipulation 7. If you can't finish the be or die game, you have to forfeit. Like I'm not like I don't make up the rules. I just enforce.
He's over there,
like,
compound fracture. Like it is
but
what
he's
it
a
is.
Bitch.
You
like he's a bitch at this moment. At this moment, he's being a bitch.
Right.
And then so, and then like, come on, get up. He goes, all right. And then he goes like, ooh, like, all right, let me get up. He like is fighting it, gets up, takes like 2 steps, and is like, oh no, and then like sits back down. And then everyone gets like all serious, like, oh shit, like,
like,
okay.
oh wait, no, it's okay.
Yeah, like, oh shit, he's like hurt. And so we try and find a first kit in the house and find some tape. I'm gonna show you the tape job that my friend did on his foot. Now I was just saying, Gibbs, I've broke a toe before. You could just take your big toe and just like tape it next to this one and then just do that. Like you could do that. I'll show you what Gibbs ended up going with here, Steve.
He went for the knuckle foot sandwich.
Yeah, look at that.
Interesting.
That's a Popeye's double down.
What was
For
it? His
audio
toe or
listeners,
what?
Christian,
Like,
would you like to explain this tape job?
everything but his big toe is taped, and like I mean, like the whole foot, like man, wrapped and wrapped and wrapped, and then just from like the bottom of the big toe down to like the ankle. It's just was it his big toe? If it was like a tendon,
so
or
this
something,
was is what it looked like
sense.
the next day. This is what it looked like. This happened on Sunday. I'm kind of going out of order just because I was playing Spirit Eye and this was hilarious. This is what it looked like the next day. Trigger warning for the dogs. Yeah, so like he like
That's
hurt,
nasty,
right? And
well, the good news
like,
is though is it might just be like a nasty bruise.
That's what like that's what he said. He says he's fine
That's
now.
the cope. Okay, nice.
So that happened. Absolutely hilarious. And then the beer die games probably stopped after that. Because then we went out to the bars, okay? Guys, I'm officially unk status. Like, it was like, I don't know, dude. It was like weird. Like, I feel like I don't look 30. Like I'm nearly 30. Like you're nearly 30, Mr. Fruit. And Blue, are you 30 or you're pretty close too as well? Like, I think you're
my brother in Christ.
Are you 30?
I'm literally 30.
Okay, so you turned 30 last year. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I turned 30 let's be specific. I turned 30 approximately 5 months ago. Wait.
Oh, December,
6
right?
months ago. November.
Oh, November.
7.
Yeah, I literally tweeted I'm old now, but I didn't want to give context.
Yeah. And that's like what I think it is. Like I'm officially unk status because man, it's just like it's like watching children out there.
How close are you, big guy?
I mean, I'm 29. I turned 30 in like October. So I'm like,
welcome to the club. Welcome to the 30 club, bro.
We were just like drinking beers, like chilling out in front of Lucky's, and just like kind of just like people watching. And we were like, do you guys think like these like 21-year-olds know that we aren't near 21 and that we're like older and like are like outside of the norm?
Oh yeah.
Because it was like we're just drinking, like talking, having a good time, and then all of a sudden I hear just and I'm like, what's going on? And then I look at my phone, it's midnight. And then like I guess like this girl and her like group of friends, she had just turned 21. So they were like getting like their first drinks.
To be young.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm so old.
So wait, so before we continue, Fruit, are you coming up on the 3-0?
Yeah, September.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 3 months until there's no looking back. I know.
So
My body's already broken down in my 20s. I'm gonna hit 30.
Okay.
It's just gonna be like, oh.
So let me tell you, as someone who has a couple months of seniority, nothing changes. So those 21-year-old girls, I hope you realize life still sucks. But you could probably drink a lot more beer than I can.
So I got pretty hammered that night, and it got to the point, you guys, I'm an athlete first, gamer second, correct? So we got this big debate about who is the fastest at this age.
Yep, here we go.
And you know me and my pride, you know, easily me, you fat fucks. Like, I'm going to outrun any of you fucks.
Oh, no.
So we line it up. I barely beat Gibbs, but I smoke him. Everyone, like, runs to the house. And, you know, I get there, and, you know, my foot hurts. Like, ooh.
Ooh. Here it starts.
The next day, I wake up after, like, that sprint. I can't even, like, and I didn't tell anybody this because I didn't want anybody making fun of me or calling me old. I was just going to suck it up. And it felt like I didn't have a foot. It was, like, the weirdest thing. Anytime I, like, put pressure on my foot, it hurt. So, like, the whole day, I had my foot like this. Like, just walking, like, almost, like, not putting any pressure on my flat foot. It was weird. Like, I could, like, you know, ballerina kind of walk on one of them. And then the other one kind of picked up the pace. And we get to the big thing I think everyone wants to hear about is the white water rafting. Okay. For some reason, it got pushed through. And I saw on the podcast that you were like, Rob posted a picture of him white water rafting, and he said it was fun. I was full of shit. I was saying that because I look like an idiot. Okay. Like,
you okay? You did just went white water out. I don't know. And you're like, that was fun.
So first things first, we're on the way there.
I love the
fuck. I forgot my sunglasses.
Yeah, that's true.
And so did the Bachelor. And I was like, don't worry, dude. I'll buy you some sunglasses. Go to the gas station and find these Neo looking ass. Like, I can see into, like, it just said speed. So I grabbed those. So I grabbed those. And we're, okay. White water rafting is cool, but there's a lot of things they don't tell you. Like, when you get there, you got to watch like a 30-minute tutorial about how to not fucking die. And they hype it up too, to the point where you're like, am I getting into some hairy shit right now? Like, this is kind of like
it raises the stakes. You'll have more
I was
adrenaline.
looking around, and there's like an 8-year-old. I'm like, we're letting like little Timmy here, like, getting this.
Does he already have a whale? Like, he?
Yeah. So, this is like, so we watched the tutorial. And they're all right, so we're gonna get you guys like all in your skin suits or like whatever they call it, wetsuit. We're gonna get you guys all in your wetsuit. So go over there and like get your size and all that, and go in the changing rooms. We'll get those on. Have you guys ever tried to put on a wetsuit?
It's really hard. It is not easy.
It is hard. Okay, and then let me tell you too. You know, I haven't been like sticking to my like workouts lately, especially then, you know, last 2 days, you know, I've been pretty good getting on the Stairmaster and stuff, but like, then I was like, you know, been a while. And let me just tell you, my flapjacks didn't make it very easy to get in that thing, man. Like, I'm not kidding, bro. Like, when you get a skim suit, it's like, or a wetsuit, it's literally like bone tight. Like, it is like tight, because I guess the water was really cold, which it was freezing. So they make you get these like suits, and I'm like putting it on in the thing. The hardest part is like getting the hook over your thing, and then you have to like Velcro it on, and then like it'll like stay here. But like you have to like pull it from like your stomach, and then like from like your bottom back. So you're fucking like you're really going for it. Look, I finally fucking get it.
Like, Rob, you good in there, man?
And like, I'm not about to be like in front of my friends. Hey, yeah, can someone help me like hold this while I'm not like, no one else has done that, and they got on there. It's fine. Like, I gotta. So, bro, I like finally get it over, and I put like the Velcro thing, and like I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I got this one on. Let me get this one. As I go to like grab the other suits,
undone.
Like, you would assume like it was like the Spider-Man holding onto the boat, but he doesn't hold onto the boat, and he just lets go. And I'm like sitting there contemplating in the closet, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to tell these guys I gotta go from a large wetsuit to a extra large. I was like, I'm not gonna live this down. I was like, I'm not gonna live this down. So I swear to God, dude, I literally went and like for like a solid like minute and a half, no breaths, like got it on, and like I could feel it. Like the Velcros were like, you know when like Velcro's slowly pulling apart, and you hear like like yeah, you hear like a little like crinkling. You could hear that, but I'm like pushed because they had like Velcro and a button, so you just gotta get the button on there. Nothing will humble you like a good wetsuit, man. That was I was doing that, and I went, I gotta like lock in. But like while I have it on, it's like, oh my God, like I'm solid as fuck. And then another thing. Okay, so like I'm in the
put on a
wetsuit.
full corset.
Yeah,
so like,
dude,
I'm in the
straight
wetsuit.
up put on a corset.
Oh, dude, it was, and like while I'm in it, I'm like, but the littlest breaths ever, like just trying to keep it cool. And so everyone's got in their skim suit, and we're grabbing helmets now. And as you guys can see here, I have this like cool yellow helmet, right?
Right.
Spoiler alert, this is like the dumbest looking helmet they had in the whole bin.
Looks like
they
the
had, like,
helmet
really
I wore when I was skateboarding, like 6.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, like, just grab like a helmet. And like at the very bottom was that yellow helmet, and it just looked like sad. And I put it on, and it was like a perfect fit. And then everyone started laughing while I put it on. And I was like, well, like, I might as well just sell out now. And then I had like, I'm not kidding you, like everyone had like cool helmet and then like cool life jacket. That's why I took that picture and said white water rafting was fun, because I looked like an 8-year-old fucking idiot. Like everyone had a cool life jacket. I had this weird like orange one, and then my sunglasses made me.
Was the other 8-year-old there like, you look good, man?
Yeah, pretty much.
Love
While
the
he was
fit.
all in like his like Oakley gear. And then
Versace.
another thing they don't tell you about is that you have to drive up to the whitewater rafting. Like you don't just like, you're not just there. You got to like get in a school bus is what they had, and then drive up like the pooter and get to like your drop off spot. And like we get there and it's like fun, but like half of it is just this. Like if you've ever been whitewater rafting, I would say 70% of it is,
Yeah.
oh, look, there's like some goats up there, guys. Like, isn't that really cool? Whoa, wow, that's fucking sweet.
I was wondering, it looks like Rob's on a teapot.
And then you go
Disneyland.
And you go forward 2 times.
Stuck.
Yeah, so this is the Poona River. This is what we like to call Devil's Stairway. It's level 3. And so like the level 3s and 4s, they're kind of cool. You're kind of like, whoa. You know, like, whoa. But then again, it's like, damn, I'm just kind of sitting here baking out in the sun and then like kind of just floating along a river. So like,
gotta be present, you know?
I tried, and then like they're all like in the tutorial, they're like, if you fall out of your boat, if your fucking boat flips, like you're fucked. Like listen to your instructor, it's gonna get crazy. So I was like, oh shit, people are gonna be falling out.
Yeah, did you ask like, wild. If we're all flipped and underwater, how will I hear what he has to say?
Exactly.
Be like,
so I was like, this is gonna get crazy. Spoiler, nobody fell out. It never even got like that dire. And so
you
like,
could have told me. I could have set something up.
Yeah, like they were like, whoop. There was like no stakes, and then they're like, it's just like
the reses, okay. Like the bosses were squishy. Like it was.
Yeah, it's just bad. Dude, but like I'll tell you what. So you get all wet, you go down, woo, woo, you're having fun, and then you're done, and you're all fucking wet and shit. The worst part, which you don't even like think about till you get out of the water and you're rafting and you're like soaked and you're cold and shit. I gotta ride back down on that bus again, but I gotta be all fucking wet. Being wet and like I hate it, bro. So the first thing I did, bro, I like unstrapped dude and let my flapjacks out. Like it was literally like,
bro learned what it was like to wear a bra. Women like, watching this podcast, one of you maybe, are like, welcome to my hell, Rob.
Yeah, like let my
titties out.
Free him.
And it was, I wish I should have got like a picture of me in my skim suit, I wish I'd like took a video of me putting it on because that was mad content. But like whitewater rafting is just so like mid. Like unless like you're gonna die, I don't want to do it. Like unless someone in my boat, including myself, has like an opportunity to die and drown, I don't want to do it because there's like no stakes. It's stupid. But it's like mad white people shit. Like, and then I also realized whitewater rafting is just white people shit. Like, it was just a bunch of white people like going down the river. I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, I hate this. I'm never doing this again.
And while
and it was like
$100,
like I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it again.
Well, it might seem like that. It is true that if you roll over in that, that's.
But like, it never gets that dire though.
Yeah, well, it's like the danger of like, ooh, it could be dire. Ooh.
You just need to do some higher levels, man.
It is also pretty deceptive. Like, while it might not look like a rushing river is particularly dangerous, if you are in fast moving water, you are kind of fucked. And it might not seem like it.
I too am an athlete first, gamer second. I would salmon up that thing. No problem.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not a great swimmer though. Like, I'm not gonna claim like I'm a good swimmer. So water is like actually where I'm not great in. But I just want like somebody fall in and nearly die because then it'd be good for the story and stuff. But it wasn't. It was just very
darn.
Like I think there's no skill ceiling, bro. Like there's no skill ceiling in whitewater rafting.
If someone had fallen out and it was like grab him, like he's gonna die, like that would have like be because like somebody nearly died. We saved him. It was this whole thing. But no. And then afterwards, like my back hurts, my shoulders hurt. The whole time I'm just thinking I want to play beer die right now, like. So
you had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. I like this bachelor party. I almost just kind of want to have these guys come over. I lost some money on UFC. That was kind of fun. That was,
unlucky.
Everybody likes sports gambling there, so I threw like a tenner. But yeah, it was really fun. I appreciate you guys letting me miss out on an episode of the podcast to have some fun. But yeah, I did not have fun whitewater rafting. Like I just looked stupid and I looked like an 8-year-old. So I said, before I put all this stuff away, let me take this stupid picture real quick. So I would give whitewater rafting as a whole a C grade.
Okay.
C for cowabunga, am I right?
Chaka, bro.
Cowabunga, dude.
One thing I won't give a C is this. What I think is probably the best Destiny 2, maybe just Destiny mission ever. Dual Destiny, a new exotic mission kind of came out after
in Destiny 2. Spoilers.
Yeah. A new exotic quest came out after somebody like killed some ghosts and found some secret steps. It unlocks this new exotic mission that gives you exotic class items, which in my opinion, not only is the mission really fun to play, but the loot at the end of it is also like really good and really fulfilling and tons of different possibilities of it.
If you're not Titan.
Okay.
That is so cap. Titan has really great combos.
It does not. That's cap. Literally everyone's talking about how like there's no reason. Well, first off, our prismatic is really consecration. That's it. It's the most boring thing ever. And then
consecration.
That's the thing where I go woo, and I go up in the air with my hammer, and then I slam down.
You do a lot of damage with that.
Yeah, but that's it.
There's some viable
ones. And then
ones.
Your hunter build is actually just a better, cooler.
Hunters did. I will say Hunters got the major dub here on the exotic class item because as Warlock, there's a couple of cool ones, but like I look at Hunters and I'm like, they got Star Eaters. And there was one. My brain already lost it. Star Eaters and Star Eaters and Galanor. Like you guys get Star Eaters and Galanor,
which is probably what first roll or something.
Which is basically you refund super energy when you use your super, and then Galanor is
and then you overcharge.
You overcharge your super, so it's like, bro, why don't I get Galanor Star Eaters?
That was actually literally I think my first roll. No, my first roll was the class ability ones. That was just like good for PvP. And then I think I got the super one. No, I got the melee one, and then I got the super one. So for those that didn't see my Twitter post, I was just about to say, people on Destiny
from Mad Shade
didn't really think like they thought like I was really asking, are these rolls good? Then I put 3 skull emojis, like obviously like a joke, and I know I'm not asking. So many comments were like, some people just want to fucking ask a question just so they could show off their god rolls, and it's like I wasn't really like I just wanted to, but yeah, I guess you're right.
It was less about showing it off and more about Lamau get fucked.
Well,
you
it
guys
wasn't so much showing
years.
it off. It was more so like I did 3 runs and got 3 god rolls. It was pretty insane. Like after everything, it was like, oh wow, this is like really good. Oh wow, this is really good. But outside of the loot that you get, the mission itself, have you ran it, Blue? I'm sure you have.
I've run it, yes.
I think it's one of the best missions like ever. I think it has the perfect amount of like tension with like stakes. The loot is great. The mechanics, you know, they ramp it up a little bit, and it's like just easy enough to like do consistently and like farm real quick and stuff like that if you find like how it works for you. But it's also like difficult enough that like you actually really need to like have a good partner and like talk about it and figure those things out. It's awesome. It is. I hope to see more of this in Destiny moving forward. I love that you can like farm it over and over again. I think it's great. I think it's not just without the loot, but the mission itself is the best time I've had in Destiny in a long time.
I agree with you. I would say it's even better than the raid. It's really, really good. It was the most fun I've had in a long time in D2. Not that I don't have fun in D2, but I'm, you know, the mythos isn't there like it once was, you know, so it's harder for me to get excited about D2 even during its best expansion. But yeah, I was like, this is exactly what I want from D2. I want activities like this. I want, you know, not crazy mechanics, but like enough to where it's like, oh, I gotta do a little bit.
I gotta think a little bit.
I gotta do little goofy stuff.
I gotta think and execute.
Yeah, I gotta solve some puddles. I gotta solve some puzzles. You know, I'm trying not to. I'm with every ounce of my being. I'm trying not to talk about 14, because every single time I talk about 14, someone in the comments is like, "Blue, don't talk about 14 challenge, impossible." It's like, that's why I love 14. I want like this dumb little puzzles, and maybe they're not crazy, and maybe they're not like, and you know, it's like, oh, that's not even hard. It's like, I don't care. It was fun.
I think for the average person, I think it's kind of difficult for the average,
there's
fire team. I would say
there's a little prog to it for some people. You know what I mean? And that's fair. And that's what I like. I like having activities that are not just, hey, go fucking shoot space alien. Now shoot bigger space alien. Okay, yeah. Mission over. There's nothing wrong with that, and obviously we need that. But having a little bit of, you know, a little extra spice, a little pepper, you know, salt, pepper, paprika on it, a little maybe hot sauce on it, just a little extra every once in a while. But might not get that anymore because everyone was complaining about it.
Everyone's whining, yapping.
Whining about what?
Wait.
Like, oh my god! All the
MMOs. I have to engage with the second part of MMO, massively multiplayer.
I got into that with Joey. He was like, "Well, what if somebody has like anxiety?" I'm like, "Well, then don't fucking do the mission, I guess." Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
or you can definitely find somebody that's like, spoilers. Everybody that's like, I'm so socially anxious. Then ask that person. You're both socially anxious. You're both going to be super awkward, and you know exactly what's going to happen. And then just stick to like hex comms, because you can do that in this for the most part.
You can absolutely do that. Even in the last encounter where like the clocks are going really quickly, they cycle. Like they cycle in threes. So like once you've seen all 3, it just cycles. So you can easily do call outs for that in text chat. So it's like I'm a socially anxious freak too. If someone looks at me wrong in the grocery store, I start thinking, how am I going to kill myself tonight? Like that's just how it is. All right. But like, I'm still good. Like video gaming and figuring out how to do stuff. Video games are not as hard as you make it. And if people are assholes about like you being like, hey, I'm doing this new, never done this, trying to learn, then like you shouldn't have played with those people anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I will say, there was a hilarious tweet I saw That it's like the people out here saying they can't find a duo to do this mission after playing Destiny for 10 years.
Yeah, like
There's a lot more about them than it does this mission.
not that you're a bad
yeah,
person if you don't, but
no,
like
but
you've
like,
been playing this game for 10
it's
years
a social
solo.
game. Yeah,
That's what I mean. But I think we're of the generation that grew up with an open lobby. And
I don't
just
know.
With, like,
I don't think
video
it's
gaming being like.
I don't think it's a generational thing because like this generation is like Fortnite. We love Fortnite, so it's like, yeah, exactly.
Well, here's my thing about all of them who are like, oh, it's so hard. You just gotta do it once. You do it once, you unlock the exotic item, and then they made it so that you can farm it, and every time you do that mission, you're guaranteed an exotic. Or if you travel around the Pale Heart and open any chest in the Pale Heart, you have a chance. Now, it's a small chance, but there's literally a way. Once you do it once, you just have to do it once. If you want to solo for the rest, you can solo farm it. So, like, there's best of both worlds, but, like, I don't want Bungie to see this and then stray away from something as cool as this because you just don't want to engage with it. It's an MMO light, but like it's a multiplayer aspect of it. Even if, well, I remember even back like early D1, if Rob wasn't on, I was LFGing. I hated it, but I was like, well, I got to do this stuff. And so like, I think
if I want to do the activities I want to do, we LFG'd. Like we.
If you want the loot, you got to put in a little extra for it. I think like it's super targeted. I like the way they've been doing the final shape. Almost like you almost know exactly where to go if you want to get something. Or I enjoy the sword and the class item, how they've made it like random rolls. So it's not hard to get, but there's rolls you want to chase and you can target from it. Blah blah. I think it's all great, but like there should be some cool stuff that you'll have to actually put a little more engagement or effort into.
Jazz hands
like,
into it, you know what I mean? Like,
because what makes the mission so much fun is the necessity of having to coordinate with somebody else and those mechanics. And if they made everything soloable, you just wouldn't get those. And so I get the people, like I get where they're coming from, and I've been there where it's like I don't have anybody, and I don't really want to find somebody. Okay, then just be okay. You're not getting the exotic item. That's the way I look at it. Otherwise, yeah. I'm sure you can find somebody willing to Sherpa you, somebody else in the exact same scenario. And also, if you, unlike Blue and I, or Rob and I, I'm sure if you go in and you're not worried about it too, you can watch a video too, so you don't even have to figure anything out. You know exactly the mechanics. You go in, boom, boom, bam. But that mission was a banger, and I don't want y'all to ruin this.
We need more of this stuff, please.
I want Bungie to be like, we hear you.
Ruin this.
But here's some more.
Well, and it's crazy because it's like
banger.
This is one of the most solo-friendly games already. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can't do, but like 90% of the content you could do solo. You could do dungeon solo. They literally make dungeons so you can do them solo. Like they design them around that, and they really don't need to. So, and I wish I could say, I don't know. It's just. I wish I could say it gets better in other games, but like even in WoW and 14, literally straight up as MMO as you can get, people are like, I don't know, like I just don't really like when they make like so much content for like big groups. It's like, what do you think you're playing? Bro's playing WoW and is like, guys, stop playing WoW. Like, what do you want from them? Get it together. Get your life together. You don't have to get everything in a game that's designed for many people to play together. And even in D2 especially, their LFG is so good now. Like it's genuinely super nice, super easy to get into things.
I would have killed for an LFG.
Right? It's awesome. It's great. It's so well done. It's so easy to get into things. I literally LFG'd Warlord's Ruin before Final Shape launched. It was easy. All I had to do was be like, hey, joining LFG. It was a little jank because like sometimes I wouldn't be able to join fire teams, but nonetheless, I figured it out. If you really want to do these things, you can't be like, well, guys, 2-person activity. Guess I'm never fucking getting that. It's like, well, then how How do you survive when there's any resistance in real life? You just sit there and shit your pants? Relatable, but the video game, it's gonna be okay. Pixels are
And
still
like, don't
there.
we want to like not be like have that anxiety anymore? And like, you do find a partner, you're like, wow, now I have somebody to like do this kind of stuff with, and then you take that step, and then it's awesome. Maybe that's
Woo.
boomer take though. I don't know.
Well,
And-
I just think the problem is solo players expect everything to be catered to solos.
Yeah.
But I think the game should have content that caters to completely different people. Raids are the hardest sort of group content, but then you have smaller group content, you have content you completely do solo. But I don't think everything should adhere to every specific like demographic.
You can't make
Like,
everybody happy.
Yeah, even giant group people are like, I want big, massive content. Well, maybe there's just soloable content. And they're like, well, I would have rather, but like, I think Destiny's just also been easier in that sense that a lot of people are just used to it or being able to do it. That this is the most obvious because first off, it's the first mission. That's only 2. Because that's the thing too. Of all group activities, these are the least amount. Like if you're solo, you only need one other person.
The lowest requirement they have ever done for an activity like this.
And if you already know the mechanics, guarantee you it's like 35 minutes, maybe. And then you don't have to do it ever again if you don't want to. Plus, doing it blind too, the twist at the very end was also really pog.
Yeah,
You know what Rob and I chose. You know what I'm saying? It was sick.
Yeah. I got owned. But we'll leave it at that. I don't want to kind of, for those that haven't done it yet.
But yeah, no, it's just so sick. And then that's when I was
Yeah.
like, dang, I've seen some people gassing up. And then I waited to look at anything until we did it. Then I went on the subreddit, and then it was just like, complain. And then pictures of like every Bungie post right now being
Really?
like, complain. Yeah. Because everybody's like, they're just so upset that they can't do it solo or they have to communicate with like a second person. It's like,
we came
That's
out of
what
that
I
'cause we
like,
did it blind
like-
and we loved it. Like it was I felt like how I feel on a
sick.
day 1 raid. I really did. Like in terms of like figuring things out. Cause like
and it was
we
the
didn't look at
timer that made
chat,
it even
like-
more fun too.
yeah.
It was like, we have like 3 minutes left to figure this out.
it
was
was
sick.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
In fact, that's today's video is our attempt.
Oh. Destiny 2 also announced Destiny 2 Frontiers.
Destiny 2 announced the future, and in doing so, announced nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna
Pretty
say
much.
I didn't watch the thing. What did it say? Basically,
Ooh, man.
It was.
I mean, hold on, nothing.
It was supposed to be a preview of the like Destiny 2, the year to come, and whatnot. It was like a minute and a half. First off, I thought it'd be like sort of a little bit more, but it was just like
a bit-off
hey,
type thing.
yeah. But instead, it was like, hey, we got episodes coming. Episode 1 is like the
we knew
Vex
that?
thing we're doing, yeah. And they essentially just like, this is what episode 1 is. This is sort of the activity. Episode 2, they talked about how they're like doing like a potion mechanic or something, but they're like, we're doing that, and this is kind of the story I want to tell. And then 3, this is the story, but they only had like concept art. It's a little early in development. Cool. And then it pretty much ends, and then it's like Destiny, and then the year changes to like 2025. And then it's just a title card for like a couple seconds, just says like D2, and then it just says like Frontiers. Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I was so hyped because I was like, the future of Destiny. They just dropped a banger. And then they, in true Destiny fashion, is like, oh, it's like a 10-minute
Womp womp.
thing. Oh, yeah, seasons are coming, guys.
They
Something
did make
next
it seem
year.
it's gonna be way longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah, they hyped it.
Yeah, they did. It's
I quickly got brought down to earth. I was like, this is Bungie.
womp womp.
They will drop a banger and then inexplicably be like, oh dude, I'm locked in. Oh right, that's just seasons. They're just showing previews for right. My bad.
I watched Dato's like impressions of it, and I think he had like probably the best like approach to it. It was like, realistically, they probably gave us little because they also currently have very little. They're still trying to figure it out. And he was like Dato even said, like, to him, it wasn't surprising. Destiny is still this big, makes this much money. It's not like Bungie's just going to be like, well, that was a story, shutting down Destiny.
Bye.
Easy. So, like,
See you, Marathon.
yeah, like there's confirmation now, but it was like 99% like, yes, there's something coming after this. So it was more of a nothing burger. Like it's just okay. And then the name they gave Frontier or Frontiers, people have been trying to decipher. But again, Dado
Just an
mentioned too,
ass
where it's
name.
like it could mean anything, or it could even just be a red herring, or just like
Yeah.
like they're literally just like I don't know, throw it at the wall and name
Like
it
Project
Frontiers.
Morpheus with a VR
Yeah.
headset, like just like
So
a
like
name,
it doesn't give us much. Now, people are thinking, oh, we're probably going to leave the solar system, which with the story they're currently telling and the way they've been mentioning the soul system specifically and blah, 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 maybe that's where they want to go with the next big arc. The one thing it did confirm is that 2025 will still be Destiny 2.
Yeah.
No mention of Destiny 3 or anything, which probably makes sense because Marathon, I think, is still on track to release next year. And there's no way they would release that and the
Oh,
sequel
yeah.
to Destiny 2 in the same year.
Yeah, they're not going to compete with themselves for sure.
So, what I'm assuming, my guess, which is still pretty close to like the tinfoil hat I had before, was 2025 will be this, leading up to the story they want to tell, starting with Destiny 3 in 2026. It could be all the way until 2027, which would definitely be a bit of a bummer. It depends on the substance of what we're getting in the interim because first impressions, episodes or seasons.
Yep.
We'll have to see if like there's a real discernible difference when it's all said and done. But like this first week was just like this was a season.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
I love the rose tinted glasses of everyone because like the expansion banged so hard that they're like people are like, oh no, it's a little different than seasons. Like the story's a little more focused. Like I think we're gonna have more stuff week to week. And I was like, you guys, I know this expansion slapped, but let's be real. I think everyone knows what we're getting with episodes at this point. I don't think there's gonna be any shockers here.
For me, it's just living in the moment. Like I'm having fun with Destiny right now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna look at this Frontiers thing. I'm not gonna look too deep into episodes. If I'm having fun in Destiny, I'm just gonna do that until it runs its course, and then who knows?
And we know what to expect with Destiny. Like whenever a new expansion drops, we're in for like a week, hell, maybe a week and a half. Like Final Shape.
This one may be a month. Like honestly, like
hopefully, like I sit,
Yeah.
but like I think most people, including myself, are approaching the end of our cycle with this expansion. And obviously, everyone makes their own enjoyment, but like as far as like new content to do, I think most people are approaching the latter end. They're closer to the end of the tunnel than they're not. So limited time, as is everything, but we know what to expect from Bungie, like a week or two of stuff to do in the new expansion, and then we come back for the new seasons for like a day or two, and then we move on. We play it here and there. Fruit has his master plan, which always works out really well, which is not play for a year, come back like 2 weeks before the new expansion, and suddenly
you got so much stuff to play.
And suddenly he's got damn near a month of good ass game to play. So,
although the good news, at least with this one, is they mentioned all episodes are permanent. So unlike season stuff,
yeah, awesome.
Whatever's coming with seasons will, or episodes will stick around. So.
That is amazing. It's frustrating because it's like whenever we talk about how good Destiny was, or like Forsaken, it's like, oh, can I play it? It's like, well, I'm kind of. So, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure more stuff will get vaulted, but it's good to know that some things are staying, story-wise, hopefully. Rage.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around those big different stressors, big or small. It might be a life thing, a relationship thing, or all of the above. When we keep those bottled up, it can start affecting us really negatively. Therapy is a safe place to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. BetterHelp was nothing but professional during my time with them. They told me and helped me work through all of my stressors and what really was weighing me down to the point now where my mentality has totally changed and those stressors and worries don't weigh me down anymore. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. We'll move on from the little Destiny here to another topic that has to deal with a story. I haven't been watching, but I know Mr. Fruit did because he talked about it with Joey yesterday. Something is going on with Star Wars Acolyte, and I don't know what it is. I haven't looked yet, but I saw an Angry Joe video yesterday. I haven't seen an Angry Joe video in a minute. I saw he posted an 1.5-hour rant on the episode that had just come out.
Which is crazy because that's like the same runtime all 3 episodes have been.
That's what I mean.
So he's got a lot to say, I guess.
So I don't know if you want to do spoilers, Mr. I don't care about Acolyte. I don't know if Blue's been watching.
Well, I haven't. So all this, especially all this recent drama or whatever discourse, has come with the 3rd episode, which I haven't seen.
Okay, so you haven't seen it yet, but you've seen the first 2.
Well, here's the thing. I sat down to watch it. I'm gonna be honest. We were about like halfway through the 2nd, and I was like, "You want to put on something else?"
No way.
Yeah, so I haven't finished the 2nd episode. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like holding me, you know? And when I sit down to watch something, I can't do other things. So like if I'm spacing out, I'm like, okay, well, let's watch something that can grab something else. Now, again, that's just my thing. Like, who's to say? There were a lot of other complaints, which I think some had some basis, some were arguing just wokeness or whatever. But it just didn't initially hook me. So maybe I'll finish it sometime. Like Andor, for instance, when I was watching that and I came back and I was like, oh yeah, like I wonder how this plays out. The only reason I think I fell off Andor way back when was because it was the weekly thing. And then I just forgot to watch a week and then I just forgot. And so I was like, I got to catch up eventually. But with this one, it was okay. And the 3rd episode, and I've only read somewhat because it's all very confusing. And the best way to put it is nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Yeah. And that's what all this stuff was. So I was just I'm like, wait, what is this dumpster fire? Like, I didn't see 3rd episode. How could it have been this bad? And like the long story short, it can't even really be that many spoilers because again, this is me regurgitating something I didn't even entirely understand myself. Is that in the 3rd episode, I guess they show or it's a vision or they meet, I don't know, these like witch cultist force ladies, matriarchy, I don't know.
Like warlocks, kind of.
And they like spin threads or weaves of fate or I don't know. Man. Long story short is they talk about like the force and how they were able to like manipulate it or everybody kind of has it or something. And they were able to birth like 2 of the most powerful force users using all this sort of stuff. And because of all of this, I guess it all starts to invalidate like Anakin and his entire story. And also the fact that even though there was weird stuff going on, the newest trilogy talked about Palpatine trying to figure out cloning. And if like the most powerful Sith couldn't even barely figure out how to clone with the Force or whatever, there's just these weird witches that have completely solved it. And so again, I don't know all that because I'll admit, as a Star Wars fan, I'm very surface level. Yeah, like I watch it, cool, but I don't dive deep.
You don't like read the books or have like
no, like
books.
If there's like cool shit, like maybe like Clone Wars, but like I'm not diving deep into the lore or anything. It's just like, oh, that was cool. So my understanding is very surface level. But so I guess for people that do understand or anything, this was like somebody telling them that, you know, like the Bible is fake. Like everything you
Really?
know, like we're just throwing it. Like I guess they just keep setting fire more and more to like
I
what
mean, I
people
do like
thought
the
was
idea.
canon or the universe.
I like the idea that like people interpret the Force differently. Like I think that's kind of cool. But like it seems like this totally like broke every sort of. I don't know.
And
And
then
I'm sure
this
it
one
didn't help
random
that it was.
show.
You said it was a bunch of women, like
Well, I'm
women.
sure, yeah,
Like
for some of those, the
Well,
same
I'm
people
sure
are
that
like
didn't help.
woke.
there's
Like the yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like.
I watched a little bit of analysis on it as well, and it's like some people are well-meaning, and they're like, yeah, like here's all the reasons why it kind of fucks up the lore that we already
Story.
have, and
Yeah.
this doesn't really make any sense. Like threads and like, so you're saying they could just immaculate conception, so Anakin was just a fluke, or so he doesn't matter at all? And yeah, the Palpatine stuff. But then other people are like, and all these ugly, sick ladies.
See, then I just stopped listening. My
Yeah, and then like some
Your opinion is-
like some racist joke, some racist joke, some sexist joke, some sexist joke. Valid criticism, back to racist joke, sexist joke, and it's like, all right, man, like you're not really getting me on your side here.
So like,
like,
they actually like
the fact that
genuinely,
it's
like
women, or it doesn't matter.
pissed off the lore people that actually like genuinely like the world that Star Wars lives in.
They
And
definitely,
while simultaneously pissing off the dumb idiot woke people.
yeah,
It's not to say everybody, but
yeah,
there's certainly a vocal group that are like,
I mean, Joey like heard about it and didn't seem excited and he's like one of those like the lore guys, you know.
actually,
So
yeah, I don't, because he
he
didn't
didn't
really go into
seem-
it. I still don't know what his take is on it, but like that's also who I would probably listen to the most of everyone I know. Like he seems to be the most like into the Star Wars lore and stuff too. So I'd be like, what is it? Explain like I'm 5. What are we doing here? And like, is it that big of a deal? Because for me, like, I just wasn't finishing episode 2, not because of any of that. And like, honestly, if I watched episode 3, I'll be honest, if I watched that live, I don't think I would have understood the like implications. I just would have been like, okay. And then maybe just kept going because I still haven't even seen it. So I don't even know. So it probably would have been like and then go into Twitter and be like, oh, and I didn't realize, my bad. But
the first time I heard about it was when you brought it up with Joey yesterday.
yeah, this week was just
then-
a lot of dual Destiny and Star Wars, whatever is going to, which is, I don't know.
Trying to think of here what I can transition to. Okay, Mr. Fruit. You saw a movie that I'm actually really excited to see, and is one of my favorite Pixar movies. Inside Out 2. What did you like? Did you like it? What did you think?
Yep. Saw it with Claire last night. Well, I guess last afternoon we went like the 3:00 matinee, 20% discount. You know how it is.
Did they shout out my boy Bing Bong at all?
Oh, you'll get your Bing Bong. That actually has some of the funniest parts of the movie. There's a scene with Pouchy, easily the funniest thing. But anyway, we went yesterday, and it's also because like she was halfway interested in that movie enough that she could be convinced to go to the theater to see it. So anytime that happens, yeah, I like say less. We're going. And I really liked it. Like I've only seen Inside Out once, I think, in theaters.
Did you like the first one? I
liked
the
it.
first one. I love the first one.
But it's been a while, and even then, I didn't even need to like remember anything about the first. It was all very straightforward, and they did a really good job. I mean, like Claire explained it, and sometimes a lot of like these kid animations or Pixar's will do this, but like this one especially felt like adults are gonna walk away a lot more with takeaways or like things about the movie than kids. And I think they did a really good job exploring all the themes they wanted to. With realistically, when you zoom out, it's a pretty like basic, mundane story. It's like, not spoilers, but essentially like the whole arc is just like her playing hockey. And so it's like, oh, that's not interesting. But then the way they manage it all, and then the funny bits and everything, made for like a pretty impactful movie, all things considered. And
Pixar did their thing.
Yeah, I liked it. Although, again, I don't know when this started, but it just dawned on me. Remember when Pixar used to have all those short animations for the movies?
Yeah.
When did that stop?
Yeah, I don't know when that stopped.
I feel like the last one I saw that was before one was the Baymax or Big Hero 08, and it was like he made like little dumplings and it was like alive.
Oh
And
yeah,
it like could like smile. I think
that might be the last one I remember. I don't
exactly.
know. It's just the more because like I watched this one, I'm like, wait, I didn't have a short, and then I'm like, wait, when was the last time? So I don't know when they did away with that. Unlucky, because I always enjoyed those.
Yeah,
Um,
Paperman is like one of the big like themes of Sydney and I's like wedding. And that's one
that
of
was a good
like
one.
our favorite Disney shorts. I love that short.
So as a whole, I give Inside 2 3 out of 5. Now I don't give half ratings, but if I
Okay.
did, I'd lean closer to 4.
Okay.
But 3 on my scale is like good. You should see it.
Okay, now out of 10, what would you give it? A 6 out of 10?
Like a 7.
Okay.
7. Well, out of 10. Well, then
I feel like
it gets
we're
a
like
little.
movies. You can't ask for more than a 7. Like if I get a
Yeah.
7, like I'm happy.
For me,
All right, that's fair.
I didn't have any high expectations. I enjoyed it. I probably won't rewatch it, but I don't rewatch many movies. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time. I think they executed well. And for me, most of these movies usually aren't like, whoa, for me. But I was like, oh, that was actually a good movie. So 4 for me is like, great. I'll advocate, like, go out and see it if you haven't. And then 5 is just like, this is peak cinema for me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my scale's a little skewed because it's like 3 to 5. 3 is like, this is just a good movie. 2 is like, what are we doing? 1 is a sad excuse for a movie. But 3's still good. You're still good.
I recently was at the movies for the longest I've ever been at a single movie. I saw Return of the King extended edition.
For
It was a movie
12
long
hours.
as hell, but that's the first time I've ever seen it extended, like through like a whole sitting. Like, man, this movie long as hell. Like,
You know what's funny? I've never seen the normal Lord of the Rings. I've probably
only
watched
ever
them
seen
through
extended?
3 or 4
Like,
times, and I've only ever seen extended.
oh,
Every time I think about Lord of the Rings, I just think about when like there's some interview that went viral on Twitter with Henry Cavill, and they're like, "What's your comfort movie?" And then Henry Cavill was like, "Oh, Lord of the Rings extended cut." Lord of the Rings: Return of the
He knows
King
what he's doing.
extended cut, director's edition.
Direct, yeah, like extended edition. Come on.
And then
That shit long as hell, boy.
and then everyone on Twitter is like, everyone on Twitter is just losing their shit. Like, God damn, Henry Cavill, explore my guts.
Speaking about something that I want to explore my guts, that got me
Oh.
excited. I don't think I've been excited about this franchise in years.
Yeah, huh?
Gears of War E-Day was announced, and I want Marcus Phoenix deep down. I love the Gears of War. I just want the PvP to be fun too. Like if the multiplayer, Gears of War multiplayer is one of my most like favorite kind of like. You'd say it's arena, right? Like it's an arena, like PvP. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd say so. Yeah.
They also had Horde mode. I loved their Horde mode. Horde mode was awesome.
Sick. Multiplayer. That's one of the few FPS games I never pretended.
Really, I loved it.
You watch, like I watched a clip yesterday because it was like, "Ooh, Gears, look at this," and the most nauseating, like, it's high skill feeling. Don't get me wrong.
You need some Dramamine.
But like, yeah, the wall. You just like shift between 8 walls and then Nash your shotgun, and it's just like, oh my! And then I've been on the other side of that too, and I'm like, what the
you just pop their fucking
and then
head
I'm just
off, and
dead.
it makes the most satisfying headshot sound ever.
Nah, it does it. That is true. Like the headshot kills and the sound effects are
blow up of the head, like is
very satisfying.
And we get back Marcus and Dom, and this is E-Day, aka Emergence Day, which is the day of I think they call them locusts or like something like that.
It's been long.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, cause I haven't played a Gears like religiously. Gears 2, maybe? Was there a Gears 3?
Yeah. I don't think I owned any of them except for the recent-ish Gears 4, I think, which was the first Coalition one or whatever. All the others I played at my friend's Matt house, and we just played Horde. And
yeah, something tells me your parents wouldn't be cool with you having Gears of War.
Yeah, no.
No. But we go back. It's been a while since we got to play as Marcus and Dom. But we get to revisit our main characters from the first Gears of War. And so this is almost kind of a prelude to Gears of War 1. It's going to be really awesome and really fun.
I think it's a cool story to tell, given everything.
Yeah.
Like, almost like I like, even though I know they're just trying to cash in, I like what they're doing with like the Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Where this new one is showing like what happened as soon as they arrived. Because whenever you see stuff before, it's always interesting to see, well, how did we get here? Same thing with like Emergence Day.
Yeah.
They talk about it all the time, and then you always wonder, like, well, how exactly did it go down?
Yeah.
And now we'll get to play through it. And yeah,
I feel like it was almost like break glass in case of emergency for emergency day, and like they finally like
bring Dom back. So yeah, because that was a part of the Xbox showcase, which people were up about. People were saying Xbox stonks up because of
way
all
better
the
than
sort
Summer
of
Game Fest.
all the previews we've gotten, or like different shows. We sort of had a Sony play, or whatever they call it.
It was a pretty brief state of play.
Whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, state of play. Not much. Nothing really huge. The Summer Games Fest was kind of okay. The PC game show I enjoyed, but that's granted, like it was literally like 99% just like weird indie games, which I'm about. So we've had like all of these sort of little showcases that, because it's like this is the time around where E3 was originally happening.
Yeah,
That's no longer a thing. So like we sort of got like a super week or two, but it doesn't feel anywhere near the same. And it's obvious not a lot of huge stuff is on the horizon, but Xbox had some pretty promising stuff to show with like the reveal of Gears. They also had the exclusive showcase for Black Ops 6. That was a big one. A lot of drama with like the reveal of Dragon Age Inquisition. No, Dragon Age.
Really, there was a lot of drama about it.
Yeah, because the cinematic trailer, if you guys haven't seen it, is tonally and stylistically very different from Dragon Age Past, and all fans were like, what in the Fortnite is this? What in the like Fortnite Borderlands sort of thing is this? Because the game is more of like a dark fantasy, more realistic, or well, not like, but like gritty. And so people were like, what in the tone shift? And again, this is BioWare, who, as we all know, recent track record has been dog water. So they're like, surely they won't mess this up.
What's
and
the
so
last
then they
BioWare
see that.
game?
And, well, I mean, we've had what? Mass Effect, Extinction Ever, but Anthem,
or whatever.
or Andromeda,
Man, you don't gotta remind me about Anthem. Still sad about that.
And I think they might have been working on something else or something, sort of dropping the ball. I can't remember. But yeah, the BioWare discourse recently has not been very positive. So then hoping Dragon Age would do it, and then they see this, and then they're like, what are we doing? So then they end up doing a gameplay showcase a couple days ago, I think. And people are still torn, but the weird thing is it looks more like old Dragon Age. It's got the darker fantasy setting, grittier. So then it also begs the question, what in the world was that trailer? It's like a marketing team that never talked to the people making the game. Very strange. So there's all that drama. But then I think they revealed the next Diablo 4 expansion, which apparently right now Diablo 4 is up. So it got some of the healthiest numbers. Everyone's saying the game's good. So then excited by that. Anything another announcements. But there was like a surprising bit where everyone came out of the Xbox showcase and was like, wow. Yeah.
Power World update looks fucking sweet. That's coming soon.
I'm excited.
I will be there no matter what. Yeah, I will be there back.
They had, I want to say Perfect Dark.
Yeah. That's like a game I never got into though.
Yeah. And they had, I don't remember, but like a surprisingly pretty stacked lineup. They had another trailer for Fable, which was again met with a lot of contentious discourse as well, because we still haven't had any gameplay. It was another cinematic trailer. And then also, if you've known since the first one, there's been all the people complaining too about the main character. Like, why are we playing like an ugly girl? There's all those people and like, oh, it's all woke, blah, blah, blah.
It's like immediately like, I don't listen to what you have to say. Like immediately.
Which also, the constructive criticism that does make sense to me is it a static character? Because they've only showed this one girl that seems to be the playable character, wherein I believe all the Fables before, it's like an RPG, you create your own character. So they're like, is it going to be a static? Because that would be kind of a weird departure. I understand that. But yeah, it is still weird that after all this time, we're still getting these weird sort of cinematic storytelling. Again, I never played the previous ones, but only heard good things. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's really cool. I mean, I'll give it a shot. Same thing with this Dragon Age, although I guess a lot of the veterans are mixed. So that's what they're also wondering. Are they trying to just find a new, younger audience or something? Like, what are they trying to go for? Gaming industry is in a weird place. But as a whole, the people were pretty happy with the Xbox game show. So.
Anything else we want to touch on before we move on to some Q&A? I know Elden Ring comes out next week. Are you going to be playing it, Mr. Fruit?
I will be there no matter what. And I did want to mention that just because it's funny. They mentioned they've sold 25 million copies of Elden Ring so far, which is crazy.
That's a lot.
That's
a big number.
Fucking wild.
If you look on Steam, you can look at achievements, and they've already said many times, in order to access the DLC, you have to beat Mog, who's one of the endgame bosses.
Oh, no.
If you go on Steam achievements, it shows you who's beat Mog. And so, if all the people who have played Elden Ring on Steam,
how
I want to say
in the game, like how far is Mog along in the game?
It's like you fight him. I think you're supposed to fight him right after the fallen beast or whatever, like the main final
Tree
boss.
Sentinel guy, right? No, this is like the final guy almost.
Yeah. Now, granted, there are two Mogs. One's in the they're talking about Mog the Blood Omen or whatever, which is the harder one. You have to, because the way to access him is kind of out of the way and later into the game. I think around 35% of people beat Mog. So it's going to be real funny because I guarantee you more than 35% of those people are going to buy the DLC without realizing they can't play.
I have to play
expansion.
old content.
Yeah. Or what's going to be even funnier too is they're going to hop on and just play the rest of the game they never played, thinking they're playing new stuff because they just never did any of that until realizing
normies are pretty crazy. Normies are pretty crazy, and I could see that happening.
But I also respect From Software for that too. They're not like, here's an easy way. Like, you got to beat Mog, and they have the numbers to even see the percentage of people who have even done that. So Chad energy there, and yeah, I'm really excited about checking that out because unlike Elden Ring, where I hopped on, years late after everyone discovered everything, I'll get on the ground floor. This one where everything's new, everybody's discovering at the same time, so I don't have to worry about that or any spoilers, and just go out and venture myself. So,
we'll move on to Q&A here. Got a question from Lumberlord. Says, question from Rob: do you have any new favorite and or least favorite Pokemon after the Soul Link? I like Celesteela, just because of the story behind of what Celesteela was for us. I don't think it's actually a cool looking Mon at all. I don't even think it looks like a Pokemon.
Well, the Ultra Beast is very divisive.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any new hatred for any Pokemon though. I hate Guzma. Or no, Mega Diancie, I guess.
Mega LeBron.
We hate Mega Diancie a lot. But no, it's still Toucan and Bellsprout, the boys. Johnny Appleseed says, rewatching the Moonlighter Let's Play with my girlfriend and loving it. My question is, if you had to be a shopkeep in a fantasy setting, armor, weaponsmith, postmaster, etc., what would you be? Good question.
Or weaponsmith. A forge.
I'd like to be the auction house guy.
All right, I respect that.
What about you, Blue?
Like a shopkeeper. I do tend to do shopkeeper vibes whenever I play games.
Pop Kurt, favorite video game original soundtrack?
Man,
I always go back to Ocarina of Time, and I think because you see a lot of people using Ocarina of Time, I think it is one of the best ever. You know, it's always like good background. Like, just I think Ocarina of Time is timeless.
Let me get this
No
out of
pun
the
intended.
way so you guys can put it in the comments. Final Fantasy 14.
I, for one, am shocked. I think we might have had a question like this before. I can't even remember what my answer would be. So I'll just say one I know I
Halo?
liked. I definitely liked Halo. But the one I immediately thought of, is it my favorite? I don't know, because I can't even think of all the soundtracks, but I really like Ghost of Tsushima's.
Okay. Pokemon Emerald?
Well, I mean, come on now. Any of the Game Boy DS Pokemon soundtracks. Really pick like any of them.
And they've been cooking lately with. I mean, Scarlet and Violet had a really good OST too, so.
Well, and I never get over the.
Oh my god. People tried to act like that, like as bad as Sword and Shield was, people try to act like that soundtrack wasn't gas, and it's like you're lying to yourself. Sword and Shield have one of the most gas soundtracks.
Esquire says, if you could color your hair, like in video games, basically pick a color, your hair changes, and that's it, and stays that color until you want to change it. Would you keep your current hair or change it?
Keep my current hair.
Does hairstyle go with that, or do I still have a receding hairline?
Let's just say yeah.
Then yeah, I would have Sora hair type shit. Like,
I would
for
like
sure.
straighter hair.
I'd go with the Vegeta cut.
Oh my god.
I'm already there, cuh.
I don't really think about changing that because it's not really. I guess I've never been super self-conscious about my hair. I hate that I have incredibly dense curls. They're really annoying, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? I just accept that that's who I am.
I would
Pop Kurt. Oh god.
Well, I would, as like the color.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'd try like all of them, because if it's just like boop, boop, I'm curious if I'd look better in any. I highly doubt it. So that's why I would just try and be like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh,
You know, Mr. Fruit.
Yeah.
I think like a full silver on you would look pretty good. You get that whole
Santa
Witcher
Claus
vibe.
arc.
Yeah.
Or Witcher.
Not white. I'm thinking like silver, you know, like little, you know, a little
Like
lower on the.
Okay, well, I guess in the same sense, if I can change my hairstyle, I'd be able to change my beard. So, oh yeah, for sure.
Pop Kurt says, Rob talking about his wedding yesterday really got me thinking. What is love, and when did you guys know you were in love?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
I don't
No
know,
more.
like, love is sick and cool.
That's deep.
We were playing video games, and I was just like, "This is really cool. We should do this all the time." And that's how it went. I don't know. I think there's a moment that where I was just like, Pog. I think it was always Pog. And I was just like, eventually I'm just like, huh, this has been Pog.
I think for me, it was when I wanted to be with Sydney more than just being by myself. Like, I think at one point I loved being by myself more than anything in the world. And as soon as I realized I'd rather be with this person at all times, it was like, oh, okay. That's good.
I think that's a good point, yeah. Where's the only person I can tolerate being around majority of the time. Still can't quite do it 100%. You can ask her. But like I'm talking like 90%, which is far more than anybody else. Far more.
I think yeah. I think I'm in the same boat as Fruit and Rob.
One Lax says, was there a video game that made you feel so empty, or sad that it was over? For me, the last time I felt this way was when I finished Cyberpunk earlier this year.
Let me get out of the fucking way so you guys can roast me in the comments. I just played Final Fantasy Endwalker in 2021, and I was very sad when the story ended because I wanted more, but there was nothing more to get. It was finished. So roast me all you want. But Endwalker is one of my favorite games of all time. But fuck you guys.
I don't know, like a video game has never had story that's like gripped me like a movie has. Or
I have
like
a
has
lot.
had that. Maybe Halo Reach, just like because the campaign was sad and made me feel empty, and then the multiplayer was just as sad. So maybe that.
Come on, man.
I will say
Um,
recently, or I will say originally, it was Metal Gear Solid 4. That was the first time I was like, whoa, games are crazy.
um, honestly, I got that for a good couple, probably more than a couple too. If I thought about it, games where like, when you finish a good show or movie series, you get the like show hole or whatever. It's like, man, I love that, and it's all over. I get that with a lot of games,
Yeah.
and I would agree. Recently, because that was only like last October, or whatever. Cyberpunk finished that in Phantom Liberty. So sad knowing that was the end of that. Uh, Bioshock Infinite. I vividly remember that
Oh,
one hit me hard.
yes, same.
Um, Ghost of Tsushima. Talking about that earlier. Uh, God of War. Both of them. Because at first I didn't know if we get a sequel. And then Ragnarok 2. Because again, I don't know what they're going to do. Just incredible stories. Wanted to stay with those characters more. Yeah, there's a good bit. I'd have to go look, but yeah, for me, there's always been a lot of games. Ones where, I mean, essentially, if it's a single player game and I'm playing on my own time, and I actually beat it, odds are I felt that way because then I was actually really enjoying it and invested.
Yeah. Real.
Farnelli says, "What did you guys think of the Rise of Ronin? Also, are you hyped for the TMNT single player game, The Last Ronin?" What?
They're making I think it's like an M-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game set in like feudal Japan, sort of. And I
What?
think,
That sounds kind of
yeah, I'd
sick.
have
Never
to.
heard of that.
I think it's based off a comic. I'll have to look, but I do think like all the other turtles are dead, and you're like trying to avenge them or something,
That's cool.
something like that. So I'm
I
down.
like that.
As for Rise of Ronin, I haven't had a chance to play it because I think it came out right when I was doing my Elden Ring playthrough.
So it
That
came
took
out like
forever, and
March
I've been moving stuff.
24th, like
It
sometime
came
in
out
March.
the same day as something else released that day that I played. Or no. Oh, I think same day was Dragon's Dogma 2. I
Marvel's.
haven't played that either.
Oh,
But I
they
want to
say
play
it's
it.
sick though.
Yeah, I want to.
Fire says, question: You get introduced to someone to the dream team, but you have to pick one video that you think represents y'all the best. Which video are you picking?
Fuck. Oh, it's impossible.
You get to introduce someone to the dream team. What
I can't even remember all of them.
represents me? So like, I have to pick a dream team video specifically. Like, I can't pick like the Reese's challenge. Like, I can't pick that.
It's a good.
It's
That'd
like
be a
I
good
don't
way to
watch. Like,
introduce
I'll be
Rob.
honest.
That's
Like,
for sure.
because I talked about this like with my chat when we were watching the dream team montage you made. Like, Dream Team, like I watched like the early Dream Team videos, like because like, oh my god, we're getting views. Like, let me watch these. Like, let's see what people think.
Yeah.
As it kind of went along, like especially when we got to Destiny 2, I never watched like the Dream Team videos, like ever. So like a lot of it is falling off on me. Like,
I'll watch fruit stuff and I'll watch stuff I'm not in. But like if I'm in it, I don't want to watch it.
I agree. Like most of the content, unless I know there was a joke in there that somebody did that was really funny, and I want to go back and like watch it.
As far as like as far as like represents us, that's
If we had to choose a Destiny video, I'm not sure. But if we could choose anything, especially with everybody else, I think probably TTT as a whole lets everybody like shine in their own way. But Destiny video, I don't know, that's tough.
I wouldn't be able to tell you
There's
Destiny
been so
video.
many too.
That's what I mean. Like,
I couldn't even
tell you.
I couldn't even tell you Rust because like while Rust is some of my favorite content we do, it's often more measured, or like the most recent season that is coming out soon probably. Like that's more gameplay focused, where we're just trying, like, we have objectives we need to do, so we're not quite as dialed in on the haha goofies, you know what I mean? So
Ooh, I think this is
we do some goofy
uh
things though, but we're not,
yeah.
you know, we are still dialed in.
I do
Most
think
of the content is dialed in gamer mode.
I think the what was it, Question Master? Or
No, yeah,
no,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
that? What was that
the
video
Fruit
Yeah,
called?
Master?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Fruit Master was really good. Yeah, any of those.
I would say either
Andre,
that.
oh, go ahead.
I would say either that, or our Jackbox videos are a really good representation of us.
Dude, did you guys see that Jackbox is doing like a M-rated like box set? Like they're doing like all these games are like made to be like M-rated and like sexual and stuff. It's called like Jackbox
And
After
we'll
Dark.
somehow find a way to turn it into Applebee's Fortnite.
Amen, brother.
We'll do one last question here from Andre. I think it's a good question. What was the first game you bought with your own money, and was it a good pickup in retrospect?
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
Super Smash
mine was
Brothers,
bad.
Nintendo 64.
You bought that with your own money?
Mhm.
You had money back then?
Saved up. Well, I got it years later, whatever. But I saved up, I think, like 2 years worth of birthday money. That's essentially for my parents, my
That's
grandparents,
smart.
and I saved up the next year. And granted, that was like $50. Wasn't much. But
Still.
the Nintendo 64 had been out so long that I bought the console for the same price I bought Super Smash Bros.
That's wild.
I was gonna say, like, how the hell did you do at that ripe old age where like single woman's shoulder would brick you up? You saved up for 64. How did you do that? But saving up birthday money, that's dedication.
Well, my parents, well, it's funny, taught us the power of saving. I took it too far, and I might be too frugal. My younger brother took it the exact opposite way. It's in, it's out. And he's like, oh, sweet, and spent.
No, not him.
No, it couldn't be.
I think like the first one that like I can really remember buying with my own money was Halo Reach collector's edition. And some of you guys might be like, whoa, Pog, that came with a cool action figure set and all. No, it was one of the worst things I ever bought. I hated Halo Reach. It was stupid. It was so expensive. I can't remember how much it was. But it had to have been pretty decently expensive. The awful purchase. I remember I just had started working at Colorado Golf Club and was parking cars, and I could finally buy like a collector's edition. Like I didn't have to like ask my parents, so I bought the most expensive like version of the thing I could. And I remember like that's when you like pick like remember you go to GameStop and you'd wait for your number to be picked up. You walk out with the big box. Everyone's like, woo, 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 yeah, but like you don't see that anymore. Yeah. That was I think the first thing that I had bought that was like for myself.
I had a similarly depressing game pick. I think this was like one of the first things I bought with my money when I started working at McDonald's. I was hype. I was like, I'm making money. Dude, I'm rich. And it was right around the time Brink was coming out. I was so excited for Brink. I was like, this is going to change gaming. And I bought Brink with my own money. And I was like,
me too, buddy.
One of the first things I bought with my own money was disappointing. And I was like, damn. Well, sometimes you buy things with money and sometimes you wasted that money.
You know what's crazy?
That said, I
like,
still enjoyed it.
The statue that like it came out with was is like $500 now. I feel like you still have it, which is crazy. You know what's crazy? Now that looking back on this collector's edition was like not that expensive. It was only $150.
I mean, with inflation, that's probably like $250 a day.
It's just crazy. Like you got that statue and a game and a bunch of like pictures and stuff like that. It's actually like not. I just hated the game. So like, I don't know. Like I still have those. I still have that like statue set somewhere in my mom's house in storage or something.
I think the first collector's edition I bought was Borderlands 2.
Ooh, what a good one.
Good one to get.
That was a great
I mean, the
one
collector's edition thing was like, okay. It was just
Yeah.
like a loot the gun loot box itself. You like got a little
What's the last
version of
collector's
that.
edition you bought? Mine's the
Fallout
Destiny 2 one.
76.
Oh,
okay. With the poison mask or like the poison helmet?
With the Vault Tech helmet, whatever, yeah.
I will say there was a long period when I was like, I love collector's editions, and I just fell out of it eventually. I don't know. It was like, because like for a long time it was like Fallout 4, got the D2 collector's edition. I would buy like all the Destiny collector's editions.
Yeah, stupid ass backpack too.
It's sick. Your cap.
No,
am I gonna wear it?
like,
am I gonna wear it in public? Because I'm scared people like Robert.
Never. But then why is it sick if you're never gonna wear it?
Because I know people like Robert would be like, that dude looks stupid. So I'm not gonna wear it in public. But yeah, for a long time I was huge into collector editions, and I just stopped. I don't know. They got kind of lame. They started being like statues, and I'm like, I don't really want statues. I want something cool with it. So.
Well, we could do one more question. We'll do one here from Hank the Tank. It says, "Hey guys, just landed my first engineering internship, and now I can afford a sub to the Patreon. So I like to make Nuzlocke memes, and I was curious if you guys have any favorite Nuzlocke memes. I had a meme get mentioned in the Blue and Fruit Lock, and I still go to look at the clip when I'm feeling down, knowing I made you guys laugh really brings me up."
Feel strong, man.
That's nice, Hank. We like that. If I had to say my favorite Nuzlocke meme, probably the one Joey made with LeBron and the Diancie. That was really funny. I really like that one.
And my favorite?
I do like Rob's team at 100%, and then it's like Rob's team at 99%, and it was just like Celesteela.
Celesteela with Leech Seed and
Mega
whatever
Drain.
else you had. Yeah, Mega Drain. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of my favorite, but I like all of them. I enjoy so much. You get a good laugh out of. It's just cool because it's like people aren't just like watching or engaging or like getting more out of it, and that's what's fun. And then it makes like some more of those like fun little storylines or whatever.
Yeah. You have one, Blue, that you can remember from your
I don't think I could.
Mr. Fruit?
I don't think I could name a favorite. The meme game wasn't quite as strong when Fruit and I were nuzlocking. But you had people like Hank dropping bangers every now and again. I couldn't name a specific one. I just think all I specifically remember is like feeling really wholesome reading the comments of our nuzlocks. That's like the media I remember the most. Of people being like, "This is really cool. Like, I love this content. Like, you guys should keep doing this forever." And I was like, feels good. But I also have the memory of like a fucking fish. So if there was a meme I loved it so ferociously in that moment, but I would not be able to recall it right now. Also, because I haven't slept.
Well, Blue, you're almost there. Because this is the end of the GG Over Easy podcast. Thank you guys all for listening and hanging out. Make sure you guys comment, like, do all the things that you can do on your podcast site or on the YouTube to support us. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week for some more talking about stuff. Peace out.
Peace.
Doses.